Hey, welcome to the second episode of Committed Critics, a pop culture podcast where we're not just committed to our opinions, but also each other.
Yay!
I'm your host, Kevin Lau. I ran over you guys a bit. I'm your host, Kevin Lau, and up next we have...
I guess I'll say Ryan Davis.
I knew we were gonna do this, Ryan. Wait for the other person. Let's go ahead, Ryan.
I guess I'm a Ryan Davis.
Hey, Ryan Davis.
Hey, Ryan.
I'm Zachary Wright, and we have with us a special guest star.
Oh, a sound engineer?
Yes, hi. My name's Jordan Smearman, and I am a sound engineer for this podcast, I guess. I'm also friends with all of them, so I'll be on here probably more than once, hopefully.
What's a friend?
You know what, Ryan? When I come back to our house, I'll let you know.
Something we don't have, Ryan.
Oh, man.
Damn.
Oh, wow.
Rip.
Oh,
Hey, you guys are paying me to be on here, right?
Yeah, your check's coming in the mail. It might get lost.
That's
but,
okay.
I'm not held accountable for that.
Wait, we're paying her?
Once the stamp's on it and it leaves my house, I ain't seeing it. It's not my responsibility anymore.
I should get mailer's insurance on that.
Yeah, I'll get first class, get you a tracking number.
Yeah, I bet I request an email when it's shipped.
Email cash.
Yes.
I can do that.
Email cash. Isn't that just Venmo?
No, come on, guys. It's Bitcoin.
Bitcoin.
You only can pay me in Canadian loonies and toonies.
Oh, man.
What?
Shut up, you Canadian.
Too bad Canada hates us right now.
Never again to Canada. Never again.
You live in Canada for 3 years and your whole life changes. Welcome to my life.
You get arrested in Canada once and your whole life changes.
You're under arrest, eh?
That's a story for another time, though, Ryan. Your Canadian arrest story.
Oh, man, I'm talking about it.
Fun fact, Ryan's actually a fugitive in Canada.
Yes, I'm on the run. I'm hiding in America. Please don't tell anyone, our viewers.
The Mounties are coming.
Look over yonder. They're riding the moose.
Oh, my God. Go ahead, Kevin.
So, Jordan, do you have do you want to give a little bit of an intro of yourself? What do you do in your free time? What
Sure.
pop culture do you enjoy?
Oh God. Well, I guess we can start off. I'm a student right now in college. I'm about to start my senior year. I am studying radio and audio production as well as communication studies. So that's a lot and lots of fun. Pop culture wise, I watch a lot of TV series. I literally have a list in the notes app on my phone with all the TV series that I've watched, and I think I'm at least at 20 now.
Wow.
I've binged a lot of stuff. It's ranged from Breaking Bad to One Day at a Time to all 11 seasons of Cheers. So I've just kind of been everywhere. I like a lot of the realistic stories and stuff. So anything that is kind of like a slice of life kind of piece, or even a coming of age shows and movies are some of my favorites. So that's what I really like. I've seen all of Star Wars. I've seen every Marvel movie now, I think. So I'm up to date on that stuff, but I guess my guilty pleasures are definitely the realistic.
The new girls of the world.
Yes. And I am Jess, but it's fine.
No shame. It's all right.
All right.
It's
No,
just-
that's quality show picks, honestly, just from those three.
Thank you.
Well, four now, but now with new girl in the mentions. So today we're gonna talk about music, a topic that I'm not too familiar with. But Jordan is very familiar with music, and she actually has a topic that she wants to talk about today with that subject.
Yes. So when Zach told me that this week was going to be about music, it's something that I tried to kind of expand my horizons on, because when anyone asks me what my favorite type of music is, I'm like, I don't know. I kind of listen to a little bit of everything.
Mhm.
But I can say that my parents played a lot of classic rock, so the 70s and 80s stuff. That's what I kind of grew up on, even though I'm not from that decade in the slightest. It's what I love. It's something that I always kind of go back to. I'm also a huge One Direction fan, but that's a different day, different conversation. I could go on and on about that. But yeah, so when I found out that this week was about music, one thing that kind of popped into my head is I was trying to think about what I've been listening to in the recent couple weeks, and the one thing I kept listening to is this mix CD my friend from high school made for me and our other friend, because she's a year younger than us, and she made us this mix after we graduated high school, and it was something for us to listen to while we drove to our colleges. So I guess we can just start from there. It's like, have you guys ever made a mix CD or ever received a mix CD?
I did when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
I remember because my uncle made it for me and my family, and it was actually kind of interesting how they did it, because it was made for both me, my little brother. The other brother was a baby at the time, so it wasn't really made for him, but it was also made for my parents too. So it was funny because the mix CD went from like, I remember it went from like Hakuna Matata to like Boogie Wonderland to Neo, and then you had VeggieTales play on it at one point, and it was just like going random spots. So like you would just have like one song at you would be listening to one genre, and then you would go in a completely different genre. And so me and my brother would usually like skip around looking for all the kids songs.
Mm-hmm.
But then my dad would be like, "No, I want to listen to the Temptations or something like that."
That's cool. The way I've never made a mixtape for anyone or anything like that, but like the way I like listen to music is I go through Spotify and like find songs that are like what I want to listen to for like the week or however long I want to listen to it. I make my own playlist, so it's like a combination. It's kind of like Star-Lord's like Awesome Mix 1 and Guardians of the Galaxy, where it's like a list of like 10 or 12 songs. And I just go through and like I play those on repeat for like 2 or 3 weeks, get tired of them, make a new playlist. I have a whole list of different playlists on my Spotify account where it's just different, usually pop songs, sometimes classic rock falls in there, rap songs, hip-hop, R&B. It just depends on what I come across digging through Spotify's trending, popular, indie hits, stuff like that. Nice. What about you, Kevin?
I've never made a mix CD, like a physical one. I've made a bunch of like Spotify playlists. I have like this thing where like kind of like Zach was saying, kind of like the Star-Lord type thing where it's like I think it's like 1 hour mix volumes 1 through, I think I have 13 1-hour mixes, which is like whatever songs I feel like, feel good connecting to from one song to the next. Something that's transitional for a good hour, whether it's like at the gym or something like that.
I think you shared one of those with me, Kevin. I'm pretty sure. I think it's your chill mix. Like
probably.
Back when we were in college, I think you... Wow, that's weird to
say. Back when we were in college. But our friend Devin made me a mixed CD one time. We had known each other for a few months. I want to say it was, first semester that we knew each other. So he made me a mix CD because we were listening to, he was introducing me to a lot of music that I wasn't familiar with lo-fi chill stuff. And I was just like, oh man, this is great. I like listening to this stuff. I keep looking, making Spotify playlists, all that stuff. So he made me a mix CD, and with a bunch, with like, I'm looking it up on my Spotify list right here because I made a playlist of it. So it's got like Claro, King Cruel, Tennis, Men I Trust, Camera Obscura,
nice,
Joy Division, Childish Gambino, Foxy Gen, Yellow Days, Deer Hunter. Then when he handed it to me, he's like, "Here, I made this for you. I've only made this one other time, and that was for an ex-girlfriend, so you should feel special." And I was like, "Cool, thank you." I still listen to it. It's in my car. But yeah, I still listen to it from time to time.
So Jordan, you said your friend Janet made you this mixtape.
Yeah.
Did you explain why she made it for you guys?
Yeah, it was for, because we were all going to college and stuff, and so she was like, "This is for your road trip thing." And then actually, when she graduated a year later, I got me, her boyfriend at the time made it, and then our other friend Emily and her ex, we all kind of came together. We each chose 3 songs or 4 songs. We each chose 4 songs because the CD could hold, I think it was 18, and then we each chose 2 songs as a collective, and then we gave it to her.
Cool.
So she could have that. But other than that, I've made mix CDs for people. Ex-boyfriends, of course. I
haven't gotten one yet. That's a good sign.
Well, you know what? You have a Spotify playlist. That's different.
It hits different.
It's different. And then I received one from my first boyfriend. His was a bunch of Broadway songs collected because I started getting into Broadway music that was in 2016 because when Hamilton came out and stuff. Yeah, so I don't know. I've always loved mix CDs. I mean... So
the songs and your mix CD from Janet are curated to you, so like...
No, they're actually... No. She just made it all for like all of us because she gave it to me, Emily, Tim, who was my ex, Emily, and then Emily's boyfriend, and then Brendan. We
Oh,
all got the same songs, but like the CD covers, she designed them all for different.
Oh,
Like
that's
it
cool.
matched our the colleges that we were going to.
So my question is like, so are like the songs like reminiscent of your guys' friendships by any means, or is it just kind of like songs Janet thought you guys would like and like here you go?
I think it's songs that she thought that we would like. It's a little bit of everything. It's the Come On Eileen is on there.
Classic.
Dancing Queen by ABBA's on there.
Classic.
Malibu by Miley Cyrus.
Eh.
That's one of her better songs. We
Yeah.
actually listened to that on the way to prom, so I think that was like a nice memory. And there's a song from the Perks of Being a Wallflower soundtrack that's on there that I absolutely love. Which actually kind of brings me to my next question. So you guys are talking about like Guardians of the Galaxy, how the soundtracks and stuff. So personally for me, I own a lot of vinyl records. I have over 50 of them, and I always go for the ones that are more like movie soundtracks
Mhm.
because you get a collective of different artists and different
Mhm.
songs instead of just one album.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys like stuff like that, or would you rather have just one album of the same artist?
I mean, for me, so like looking at like soundtracks like Guardians of the Galaxy, like I know Ryan and I really dig Into the Spider-Verse, that soundtrack.
Mhm.
I'm sure we all
Yeah.
do in this conversation right now. But I mean, like, I feel like the soundtracks are more fun because it reminds you of the movie.
Yeah.
Like in Guardians, like in Volume 2, Guardians of the Galaxy, right? I know the chain is in 2 times in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Mhm.
When they're about to leave to go fight Ego. And when Star Wars is like, no, I'm going to kill you, Dad, basically.
Mhm.
And like gets his, like, channels his inner power and starts kicking his own dad's butt, basically.
Damn spoilers.
Yeah, that movie's only
It's
2017.
been out for, like, 3 years.
Yeah, it's 3
Yeah.
years. Yeah. If you haven't seen it in 3 years,
It's been out for a while. MCU is very mainstream. Like, come
If
on.
you haven't seen Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 by now, I'm sorry, but I'll write you a personal apology letter.
With a Venmo.
With a no, not a Venmo, not paying
With
anyone.
cash.
With cold hard cash. But I know like other soundtracks, like the Black Panther soundtrack, like
Mhm.
that's also a very like good soundtrack. There are a couple songs on there I really really like and dig. But yeah, that's just me personally. Like what's more superhero stuff for me reminds me of like the characters in the movies.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Whereas like if I get kind of bored listening to one album,
Mhm.
there are only a couple like artists I can listen to like a full album and I get bored. I'm like, okay, I want to listen to someone else's voice for a little bit. But that's just me personally.
Here's the weird thing about me. So, as Zach mentioned, I like Spider-Verse.
Right.
Really?
It's Black Panther. The weird thing is I've only listened to, I guess, 4 soundtracks that weren't Disney
Right.
or strictly Disney soundtracks. So the rest of them, like, you know, you got Toy Story or something like that. You got like Tarzan. Like those are movie soundtracks. But like other than that, it's really just Guardians, Spider-Man, Black Panther, or Baby Driver.
Mm,
That's
Baby
about-
Driver's a good
that.
one.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I like all the soundtracks on that, but like, I don't. It's weird because I don't listen to a lot of musicals or anything like that. So,
Mhm.
or I don't find movies that have a lot of specifically made soundtracks. I don't know if that's like it with every movie or not, but like, there's only been a few that I've seen. So like, when I listen to that soundtrack, when you said soundtrack, Jordan, for like movies,
Yeah.
my mind immediately went to Duel of the Fates for Star Wars because that's the kind
Oh,
of
man.
soundtracks I listen to.
I would say those are more scores than soundtracks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess so. I was like, that's what I think of when someone says a movie soundtrack, but I guess that's really a score.
Yeah.
But-
So
Mhm.
real quick, I have a question for Ryan. So would you say like movies like Spider-Verse or Black Panther, do you think those like because you like the soundtracks, is it because you like the songs or because you have a special place in your heart for the movies so you coincidentally like the soundtracks?
I honestly think it depends on for Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
I enjoy it both because I enjoy all the songs and I enjoy the movie as well.
Mhm.
Whereas like with Baby Driver, it's a little bit different, like because I like the songs because of the movie. Because
Right.
honestly, I had never heard of half the songs that were in Baby Driver, and
Mhm.
except for like Tequila, until like I saw the movie. So I was like, oh snap, these songs are good. And so like whenever I listen to it, it brings me back to that movie.
Right.
So I think it really depends on one, like I guess the age of the song, because I listen to the only old songs I listen to are mostly R&B because my parents.
Mhm.
But you know, it really depends on the age of the song and the movie.
Okay. What about you, Kevin?
Well, I just have a question real quick. With Spider-Verse, isn't most of those songs original to the movie?
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I think same way with Black Panther. There's some original tracks that's
Yes.
for the
Mhm.
movie.
Yeah.
which is not uncommon.
Right.
Like usually there is like one or two that may be original for the movie. But yeah, so I'm more of an album guy. I like listening to an album from beginning to end from the same band, because I feel like, you know, like building an album is kind of like building a movie, but like whereas each song is kind of like each scene of the movie, or like, you know, a story. So like the album, like I feel like tells a whole story. Like Father John Misty, I feel like does this very well with his albums.
Yeah.
And so you mentioned that you collect vinyls, and your vinyl collection is bigger than mine. I just have a little bit. I started collecting it, but then I had to be more financially responsible, so I kind of cut back a bit.
Yep, I feel that.
Especially in these trying times.
Yep.
But no, my dad has a huge vinyl collection that he's given me right now. So I just have so I have a lot in my room right now. It's just, you know, not all of it's mine. But the only movie soundtrack I have on vinyl is the Scott Pilgrim versus the World soundtrack.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, I got it for two reasons. One, because I love the movie. I really like the music in it. And two, because it's a translucent red vinyl. So it just looks really nice.
That's cool. I love those things.
But I have mostly just regular albums like Beach House, Depression Cherry, Future Islands is my favorite band, so I have like all their albums on vinyl right now except for their first one. Then I have like compilation albums, like the greatest hits. So I have like
I have those.
Yeah, like Queen, The Killers. That's the other one where I have the
Killers.
greatest hits for. But also going back again to like how I think albums tell a story. Another band / artist, the Mountain Goats, I feel like does that very well as well.
Yeah.
Kevin, have you listened to Frank Ocean's Blonde?
No, I have not.
Okay, because that one definitely tells a story too. And actually, shout out to a different podcast. This one called Dissect. They have, I think, 4 or 5 different seasons, and each podcast season they go through one of the albums of a different artist. So they just finished up Beyonce's Lemonade. They did Tyler the Creator, and then Frank Ocean's Blonde, and then they did Kendrick Lamar, I think, and then Kanye West. Which is just, I don't know, I like listening to that one because it really kind of goes into the lyrics of it and even the measures, the beat measures and things like that. So I would definitely check that out if you're interested in albums and stuff.
Yeah. What's the name of the podcast again?
Just Dissect.
Dissect. Okay.
Yeah.
Another album you might like, Kevin. It's very interesting. It's actually from Aaron Burr from Hamilton, Leslie Odom Jr. He released an album. I think it was...
What's that called?
2019 maybe. It's called Mister, and
that one's good.
It's really good. It takes he puts like a jazz. He has like jazz songs kind of almost.
Okay.
But he puts like a pop and like modern R&B spin on every song, and every song is very different and very unique in its own way. And it's truly a testament to how great of a musician he is. I think you'd really enjoy it, or if not, see the artistry in it.
Yeah.
Right. Cool. Yeah, I'm writing it down right now.
Yeah.
So
I think Ryan, even you would like those too. Yeah, it takes because like you said, like your parents liked R&B and you said jazz earlier, right?
Yeah, a little bit jazz too.
I think your parents would love the Mr.
Oh
album.
yeah, they would love that.
Okay.
You like jazz?
you like jazz?
Every single car ride.
You like jazz?
Oh God.
I do have a question I want to ask about this topic too. So something I listen to a lot of, usually on YouTube, are covers of different songs or things like that. So it varies for me. Sometimes it's like, a cover of a popular song. Yeah. Sometimes it's a cover of a song for a video game, and sometimes it's covers of songs I've heard in anime, but they do it in English. So that way, people can actually understand what they're saying. So I was like, do any of you guys listen to things like that at all? Or
I do, yeah. I remember the very first cover, when I figured out what covers were, it was back when middle school, when Payphone by Maroon 5 came out. And it was Max from the Nickelodeon, Rags is all on iPhones. They did iPhone instruments and stuff like that.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
And he did with a YouTuber and stuff. It was when he was still up and coming or whatever.
Yeah, Kurt Hugo Schneider. I think that's the YouTuber.
Yeah. And it was a really cool, interesting take on the song Payphone. So that's when I started noticing people not redub their songs. They just kind of they cover it. That's what the word cover means.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I enjoy covers. There's one I can't think of right now. I'm gonna look it up while you guys keep talking about this topic. I'll see if I can find it before you guys are finished. But yeah, I enjoy covers a lot.
For me, it was Pitch Perfect.
Oh yeah, duh.
Pitch Perfect. 2000. What was that? Came out in 2012. And I watched. Okay. On a side note, my mom and I watched Pitch Perfect 18 days in a row. We watched it one time, 18 days in a row. We loved that movie.
How do you watch one movie 18 times?
You know what? I don't know. We were just like, we loved it so much when we first watched it. And like, I'd get done with homework back in middle school. And Mom was like, you want to watch it? And I was like, sure. So we did that. But covers were kind of there for me. And then that's when I think Pentatonics started to kind of get more of a following too. And stuff. I don't know. I think like up and coming artists, they always do covers of things and then kind of move their way up. But I do listen to covers, not a ton, but I do listen to them. And then I think it's always kind of cool to discover that this one cover that you really like is actually not the original.
Yeah.
Like I always think I think of the Whitney Houston's and Dolly Parton's I Will Always Love You.
Yeah.
That one, like, everyone always thinks it's Whitney's song. It's like, no, Dolly Parton came out with it first. And I think there's a Watch Mojo video about it. Like,
you were correct.
Top 10 songs that are, their covers were more popular than the originals.
the not the dubstep, but Kygo, like, that artist
now.
Kygo
does them.
He did one with Whitney Houston, but she's already passed. Higher Love by Steve Winwood. They did a cover of it. Like, she had already recorded Higher Love at one point, and he found it and was able to get the rights for it and, like, released, like, a cover version of Higher Love by Steve Winwood, but it's Whitney Houston singing it for the first time. Even like she's passed for like 3 or 4 years now. Yeah, maybe longer than that.
What about you, Kevin?
I'm not like really into covers per se. It's not like, you know, I don't actively seek out covers of songs.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like, but like I've watched covers before. Like when Kurt Hugo Schneider, when his channel was kind of like the thing on YouTube for a bit.
Right.
Because he was mostly known for his one shot music videos and also like the mashups at the end of the year. I usually just watch it just for the video production value than the actual music. But Pentatonics, like, I really like their acapella covers. I think acapella covers just kind of hit different than regular covers because it's like a whole new instrument, a whole new experience for the song. I mean, that's not to say that there are covers I think that are like really good. There's an indie band called Sure that does a cover of what's the song by Talking Heads. This Must Be the Place by Talking Heads.
I've heard that.
Yeah, Sure did a cover of that I really liked. Emily Blue did a cover of Call Me by Blondie that I think was really good and modernized really well. It's one of those things where it's like, you know, there are two different songs. I don't think a cover can ever ruin the original because the original is the original. It's there. Yep. Like, you know, you can always just listen to that. You know, I like to see covers that don't try to be the same as the original, but rather try to bring it to a new light. That's why, like, Weezer's cover of Africa, I'm just like, it's okay, I guess. I mean, it's the same thing.
Oh, don't get me started on that.
That entire Weezer album is just all covers.
Yikes. But it's just like when a cover does, especially when a big, well-known band does a cover of something and it's the same thing, I'm just like, what's the point? Like, I feel like it's just cheating for them because they don't have to come up with a new song. They just do the same exact thing that the other band did. Technically, like, they could do that. They just have to pay the original band royalties, but it's just oof.
Oof.
A big oof. I'm trying to think what else I was going to say.
You mean to tell me you don't like Lord's version of Everybody Wants to Rule the World?
There's a version of that?
What? I like that one. That one's very different.
Yeah.
From the Tears for Fears version.
There's that. There's Marilyn Manson's dang it, I forgot. Sweet Dreams.
I didn't hear Marilyn Manson's version of that.
I only know it because they played that cover in the Wrath of the Titans trailer.
Oh my god.
That's how I learned a lot of covers from watching trailers.
Well, you figured out what was the one. You figured out what Come Together was from the Justice League trailer.
Oh yeah, I did figure.
So many people have done come together covers.
There are a lot of those. Yeah,
it's a very popular song.
It's a good song though.
A lot of people done Lean on, or not Lean on Me. Yeah, is it Lean on Me? From no. What's that one movie? Stand By Me?
Stand By Me, yeah.
Stand By Me.
A lot of people have done covers of that too.
The one that just popped into my head, a couple of them were Give a Little Bit, that was originally recorded by Supertramp, and then Goo Goo Dolls did a cover of it, and then Turn the Page, originally done by Bob Seger, Metallica did a cover of it too. Those are both very good.
Mm-hmm.
And then Shinedown did a cover of Leonard Skinner's Simple Man. That one's really nice. I like that one a lot.
I have to look that one up.
I'm trying to think of the Monkees. They did one from Shrek.
There's a lot of them from Shrek.
I can't think of the song right now.
Shrek is a
Smash
great...
Mouth?
Maybe
Shrek has a great soundtrack. Which one are you talking about?
Oh, I'm a Believer. That's like always been covered.
Yeah. Hallelujah is a big cover song too. Everyone does Hallelujah.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Don't diss the Fairy Godmother's cover of I Need a Hero.
Oh, never. Never.
Classic.
Phenomenal.
But come on, none of them can ever beat 5 Seconds of Summer's cover of Killer Queen. That one's... Ooh.
Oh, no.
That's a good one.
I don't really care for that one too much.
I like that one.
Jordan's a big 5 Sauce stan.
Yeah, it's okay. It's fine. We can agree to disagree. I understand.
Yeah.
But you know what? Shawn Mendes butchered the Under Pressure one, and I stand by this.
I didn't know he did that, and I'm scared to listen to it.
Yeah, he did.
I didn't either.
It was it was with the 5 Sauce one, how they did like modern artists covered it, but nothing will beat Panic at the Disco's cover of Bohemian Rhapsody that was at the end of Suicide Squad. That one's good.
I do agree that one's pretty good.
I will give them that.
It's decent. Yeah, it's decent.
I
Yeah.
enjoy it.
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoy Suicide Squad, so that's a whole other topic.
Yeah, but like that one was like the cover is it's just different enough, and it's clearly made with different instruments because it's more synthesized.
Yep.
Yeah.
Than the original. But I liked it. I thought it was decent.
Do we want to move on to what Jordan's been watching recently,
Oh God.
individually?
Oh no.
Yeah, we can.
We can. Someone else can go first if you don't want to talk about it.
Well, there's a lot.
Oh, all right.
All right, you can hit it.
All right. Pull out that list.
Oh God. Okay, so the one that I've been watching on live TV is Songland. That just ended 2 weeks ago. Kevin, you might actually like that TV series too.
Songland.
It's a competition. Each week is a different artist. So it's 3 different music producers. It's Ryan,
Yes.
Tedder. No, not you. The
Damn.
the lead singer for Moment Republic. It's this guy named Shane who's won a bunch of Grammys for country artists, and then Esther Dean, who is actually also in Pitch Perfect, and she's written and worked with Rihanna and Usher and all that stuff. It's them, 3 music producers, and then 1 artist. So this past season was their 2nd season. They had artists that like Florida Georgia Line was on there, Usher was on there, BB Rexa was on there, her and Julia Michaels, like just to give a few. And what it is that the artists come on and they're looking for a new song to release. Boyz II Men was also on there. And they have 4 different up-and-coming songwriters come on, and they pitch one of their songs. And then if the artist likes it, then they move on and they work with one of the producers. So there's 4, then that goes down to 3. And each producer works with one of the songwriters, and then they make a new song and they pitch it to the artist, and then the artist ends up choosing one.
Okay.
But what I really like about it is the pitch part, because then the producers and stuff, after the songwriters sing their song, whatever, then the producers just come on and they're like, oh, you're using like this. What if we change these 2 lyrics around, or like switch this chorus? And then they just start singing it. And it is just so cool to see the whole process of it. And I absolutely loved it. Like, it's kind of predictable with some of them, like Luis Fonsi, who sings Despacito, he was on there. And you could kind of tell what one he was leaning towards. Like, I think there's a couple episodes like that. But then there's other ones that absolutely are just like, I didn't think they were going to pick that one. And sometimes they pick more than one song. And it's just a really cool one. So that one I've been watching. I watched on live TV. And then the ones that I've been kind of binging, I binged the whole 1st season of Never Have I Ever. I binged that all in one day. And that was just a really good series too. Minnie Kaling is on that, or she created it. And I think she wrote a couple of the episodes and she's produced it too. And that one's really good. And then I just started and finished the 1st season of Pose, which is an FX show, but it's now on Netflix. And I started the 2nd season of it, and I really have been enjoying that.
I haven't seen any of these.
I would highly recommend all of them.
I wrote them all down.
Good.
I can't even get through a whole season of Full Metal Alchemist or New Girl in a decent time span.
Well, Never Have I Ever is only 10 episodes and they're 20 minutes apiece, so it was kind of easy to finish those. It was a really good one. I watched the trailer for it and I was like, I added it to my watch list and then never got around to it until just now. And I was like, you know what, screw it, I'll watch it. And then I ended up finishing it all in one night. And it was just really good. It's a coming of age one, but I really like, and what I've been trying to kind of do with what I've been watching is expand it so that the main characters are people of color
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. So I'm just trying to kind of get more representation for that and kind of learn, because I think, I mean, obviously people of color are underrepresented in this industry. And I think it's really good to kind of see shows that have star or main people of color characters. So what I really like about Never Have I Ever is that the main character is Indian.
Mm-hmm.
Like her family, her parents emigrated from, they left India, but we'll just say that. They left India and moved to the United States. And so she grew up like with Indian culture, but also American culture. And I think that's really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And her two best friends, one of them is Asian and the other one is Black, and she's also gay. So I think that's really good. And then she has a crush on a guy who's half Japanese. So I just think that's really interesting. And then Pose is really cool because it's set in New York City in the 1980s, and it's all about the LGBT community there. And it focuses more on Black LGBT, but it's like also right when the AIDS epidemic starts too.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's really interesting because some of the characters get diagnosed with AIDS and they're like having to live with this, but it's also talking about the LGBT culture with voguing. Like they talk, the whole episode, one of the episodes I just watched was when Vogue by Madonna was released.
Right.
And they talk all about that through it. It's like, look, like our culture is being represented now. Like we're getting positive feedback on it because everyone loves this song. And so it's just been really interesting to kind of see this new culture. And obviously some things are dramatized. I understand that. But I think it's a good way to kind of learn about things that, you know, we might have not learned about.
I have a question. So is it, yes, it's representing the Vogue community, right?
Mm-hmm.
But didn't Madonna appropriate that to some degree?
She did.
Okay.
She definitely did. But I think this was before they kind of realized that.
Okay.
Because it's all about, it's ballroom culture,
Mm-hmm.
which I didn't know about ballroom culture or anything until I was actually at work. And then I looked at an Associated Press article because there's a new HBO reality show that's all about ballroom culture. I think it's called Legendary.
Yeah.
And that's actually a competition between different groups. And they're called families. And it's people from all kind of walks of life, usually the LGBT community. And they come together and they actually perform. So they're like voguing is part of their dancing. They dress up in really elaborate costumes. It's kind of like a fashion show with a dance competition. And that's what Pose is kind of showing into it. But yeah, I mean, Madonna definitely appropriated it. She didn't really kind of give credit to where credit was due.
Rip.
But the show doesn't really talk about that, which I don't know if they will. I just started the second season, so we'll see what happens with it.
Interesting. That's very interesting. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. I wrote all those down because I've never heard of these before. So
yeah, Songland. The whole second season of Songland's on Hulu.
Nice. And
then Never Have I Ever is a Netflix original, and then Pose is on FX, but they had the first 2 seasons on Netflix.
Cool.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Nice.
So that's Songland, Pose, and
Never Have I Ever.
Never Have I Ever. Okay.
And you watched that all in like what, 2 weeks?
Yes.
Jesus.
Wow, putting us to shame.
Pretty much.
This is what happens when I don't have a summer
She's the
class.
more committed critic. That's the thing. She is way more committed than we are.
Yeah. Oof.
I'd be more committed if I had more time.
That's fair, yeah.
Which is what we all say. But how about you, Ryan? What have you been up to this past week?
I know we had talked about having me watch Doctor Who, but I've just been busy at work most of the time, and I've been finishing up this other show that I've been watching. So the only other thing I've been watching is it's called Food Wars. I'm not sure if you've heard of it. It's on Netflix
from Smosh?
now. Huh?
Oh. I was like, Food Wars from Smosh?
Oh, no.
Oh my God.
No. Oh, Jesus.
It's a cooking show, right?
Yeah, it's a cooking show. Well, it's an anime. So that's the even weirder thing. Because here's the thing. Of all reality TV, I don't like any reality TV except for cooking shows. And the opposite happens with anime is that I don't like any kind of slice of life anime. This is basically 2 things that in everything I thought I would be watching. But it's actually really good. I'm on the 3rd season right now because they haven't finished the 4th or the 5th season because COVID.
Woo!
But yeah, COVID we love it, right?
Love to hate it. Hate to love it.
We love it too much here in America.
Ooh.
Pretty much.
Can't get enough.
That's a topic for another whole.
We're not getting political.
Ryan, what do they do in the Food Wars show?
Basically, they're
I already know this, but I want to hear
Thanks
you
for saving
talk
us from that
about
one, Jordan. Appreciate
Oh,
it.
dude. So it's supposed to be a cooking show, and they're supposed to be like at a cooking school or whatever. But there's a little thing they do. It's an anime, so of course it has to have something weird in it. But they have the only way to talk about it as foodgasms, whereas
Ooh.
basically whenever they eat something, it like has a whole like I guess moan to it. I don't want to.
What? Ryan, I do have an example of it from you that I could play.
Oh dear.
I hope you're recording, Zach.
I'm definitely recording. She's pulling up her phone with her audio file on it. I'm excited.
Just play it.
Oh, I heard it. So
Yeah, so
That's a foodgasm.
so every time we're censored, you just have that instead of beep.
just a foodgasm. But yeah,
Can we copyright that?
You know what it sounds like? Have you guys ever seen the Taylor Swift music video where it's like, I knew your trouble, but instead of her like yelling and screaming, oh, it's the turtle going,
yeah.
it's like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really good show. It's very addicting. If it wasn't for that one thing, I could watch it whenever. But it's always like, oh, they have to have a foodgasm at this exact moment because whenever they eat something. But yeah, it's
The moment your dad comes in.
that's pretty much what it is. It's the stereotype of anime. You always walk in on the worst part.
That's fair, yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much all I've been watching. I will watch Doctor Who when I get home this following week.
Hell yeah.
Sounds good.
I've never seen any of it.
Of Doctor Who?
Yeah.
I started watching Doctor Who in the reboot 2000. I didn't watch it in 2005, but I started with that in the new reboot. I got all the way to Peter Capaldi's like second to I think this is his last season or series as they call it in the UK.
Yeah, season 10 was his last one, and then season 11 was Jodie Whittaker.
Which one is Christopher Eccleston?
He's season 1.
Christopher Eccleston is the 2005, the first one, season 1.
Season 1. The 9th Doctor.
Technically the 9th Doctor. I'm trying not to confuse Ryan.
Yeah, well.
I'll let him watch all the way to the 50th anniversary special. Then, like, plot twist, there was actually more going on before
There's
that.
3 other Doctors.
Wait, there's 3 other Doctors before the 9th Doctor? I mean, that makes sense because
there was 8. Well, actually 9 technically.
Kevin, we gotta count David Tennant's Regeneration. He postponed it, and the War Doctor, and Matt Smith.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I feel like when Matt Smith became the Doctor, like you were either a Doctor Who person then or a Sherlock person.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was a Sherlock person.
Oh, that's when like Doctor Who in America became like hype.
Yeah, I agree. Like once like Matt Smith took over Doctor Who, that's when it became like Americanized.
Yeah, I was a Sherlock kid, so
I was a Matt Smith stan.
I was both.
I was neither.
I feel like Sherlock has not aged well.
Oof.
no, not really. But it's, I love Benedict Cumberbatch.
I haven't seen the final season of Sherlock. The thing is, like, I think Sherlock is like, it's a decent show, but it's not a good mystery show, because it purposely misdirects the audience.
Yep.
Right. I've seen the first.
No, go ahead.
I've seen the first episode of Sherlock, I think 3 times, and every time I fall asleep at like the 40-minute mark.
Yep.
I can't. I'm like, oh my god, I know
each
what
episode is just like a movie.
I know what happens. Yeah, it's like an hour and a half long. I know what happens. I know like it's interesting, but it's just so bland until he gets to like that room with the other guy where he's trying to pick the right poison, basically. And I'm like,
that's
right,
the
whatever.
problem.
Wait till you watch the second episode of each season.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Those are the rough ones.
See, that's the problem I have with I watched like that one episode of Sherlock, and I made through I think 4 episodes of Doctor Who the first time, because an hour and a half long show. That's part of the reason why I watch anime, because that's just 20 minutes.
Right.
You can binge through those real quick.
Right.
Whereas with an hour and a half show, I will maybe watch 1 episode a week.
There's only 3 episodes per season.
Yeah.
Is 3 episodes per season?
Yeah.
Of Sherlock,
Yeah.
not Doctor Who.
Oh, I was about to say like Doctor Who. I was like there was like 10.
Well, that's 'cause
12.
Sherlock,
Yeah.
each episode's an hour and a half long, so really there's only 3 episodes, but I mean it's 4.5 hours of TV right there.
You only have to watch 2 of them, really.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Doctor Who, it goes down to like 45 minutes or 50 minutes when it gets to David Tennant, maybe.
Yeah, so it stays around the 50 minute mark, but
Yeah.
then there's like some specials that go up to a full hour.
Well, the specials are just like a hoot and a half, and they're great. I want more. Wish they were like 2 hours.
Yeah.
See, you would think after being able to watch like the original, like the black and white Sherlock Holmes movies or show, I'd be able to watch Sherlock.
Nah.
But it's somehow that's slower than the black and white show to me.
Well, okay.
100%.
What about the Robert Downey Jr. movies?
See, I can watch those. Those are fun because Robert Downey was Robert Downey Jr. Plus, they have more action, I guess, in it. Because like, there's like, I like Sherlock Holmes, like Robert Downey Jr.'s like, I have to analyze this fight, and he has more comedy with it. As like Benedict Cumberbatch, I don't know, he just seems kind of draw. Like I liked, I don't know if you guys ever watched Elementary.
I've only seen a couple episodes.
I knew you were gonna say that. I absolutely knew you were gonna say a CBS show.
That was me and my mom's. We watched Elementary because we tried watching Sherlock, and we both got to that 40-minute mark, and we were like, "This is boring as hell." And then we found out Elementary existed, and we made it through 2 seasons of that, and then I started going to high school more and was involved in the clubs and couldn't watch it. But yeah, it was like, that was much more fast paced and much more, I don't know, not fun, but it was easier to watch.
The thing is, like, you know, Sherlock and Elementary both started around roughly the same time.
Right.
But the hype was all around Sherlock. But then, like, once the hype around Sherlock kind of died down, Elementary has had a more long-lasting cultural impression.
Right.
Like, I see a lot more like references to Elementary than I do Sherlock.
Mm-hmm.
And I know Elementary lasted for like what, 8 seasons, 7,
Something like that.
5.
I think so. Hold on.
It went on for a while.
Sherlock is like an Arctic Monkeys album where you get one and then you have to wait 5 years and then you get another one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had 7 seasons. Elementary had 7
And
seasons.
it's just okay. Woof. But anything else, Ryan?
In terms of watching,
Yeah.
not really. Like, I haven't watched much else. I tried. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's just been Food Wars.
Well,
nonstop.
you and I
Really?
finished season 2 of Harley Quinn.
Oh yeah, that
That was
we did
last
finish
week.
that.
That was last week.
We talked about it, but Jordan, what did you think of season 2 of Harley Quinn?
Oh, well, thank you for asking, Kevin.
You're welcome.
I'll go screw myself.
Yeah, I actually really liked the series. I honestly didn't think I was going to like it as much as I did.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very feminist-driven show, and I really liked that. And I also really liked how it was just kind of like, screw you, Joker. Like, I'm gonna do my own thing. And I don't know, I thought that was great. The second season was good. It was very, I don't know, it was very like kind of plot twisty.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I remember there was a couple episodes Ryan and I were watching, and then like it would end and we were like, what the hell just happened? And we just kind of like stood there for a second just in silence, and then started the next episode. It's like, oh, okay, here we go. What shit show's gonna happen this time? But I don't know, I really liked it, and I'm hoping, I think they're supposed to be making a 3rd season, right?
It's up in the air right now.
That hasn't been confirmed yet.
Oh,
Yeah, because they're
okay.
like, the second season kind of ended well, like perfectly.
It did.
But some
On a
people
good
are
note.
also are like, maybe a 3rd season. So it's up in the air right now.
Like, the creators, of course, like, want to do a 3rd season because 1, they have more ideas, and 2, they want a job. But it's just the Harley Quinn show has kind of like had a roughy like production life because the first season was delayed for so long, and that's how like the season 1 and season 2 got like came out pretty much like a month apart because the first season was delayed by like 7 months.
Oh.
They're still waiting for it to be greenlit for a 3rd season. So once it gets greenlit, it's probably going to be another year until we get another season. But yeah, no, I agree. I think Harley Quinn's a great show. I feel like I'm the only one that like when I watched the first trailer, I was like, oh yes, this is gonna be a great show, and everyone else was kind of like, hey, it's gonna be fine, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I was one of those people.
Yeah.
I didn't even see the trailer. Ryan was just like, let's watch this, and I said, okay. And here we are.
Once you actually like watch the show, I think it's pretty great. I think it's technically better than Birds of Prey. Like everyone who like every time someone like, oh, I really love Birds of Prey because of this and this and this, I'm like, hey, that's in the Harley Quinn show but dialed up to a 12.
Yeah, I noticed that when we were watching it.
It holds nothing back.
Is Black Canary dialed up to a 12?
Black Canary's not in it.
That's not worth it. Nope, that's not my vote.
Oh my god.
I think she is in it for like an episode, like a quick appearance, but
All right, I'll
yeah,
take it.
she's not a main character. It's all about Harley Quinn, Poison Ivy, King Shark.
King Shark's so good.
Oh man, dude, like with the part when Psycho read King Shark's mind to get his darker secret.
Oh my god.
That was.
I was laughing so hard.
Ryan was.
Yeah.
We were both dying. It was just like, that was not what I expected it to be. We're like, oh shit, okay, here we go.
They got dark real fast.
Jesus.
And that's what I kind of like about the show is that it got dark at times, but it also balanced it with humor.
Mm-hmm.
Except for that one.
It's like no, go ahead.
I was gonna say, except for the one episode where they go to Apocalypse. That's the only episode where I'm like, eh.
Oh,
Yeah, that was
okay, I know
dark
what
for a
you're talking about.
dramatic effect.
Yeah.
But yeah, but it's usually like the darkness is like shock humor, but then the reaction to the dark moment is absolutely makes it absolutely hilarious. But anyways, moving on. Zach, what have you been into this past week?
I haven't really watched much. I've gone a couple episodes in New Girl again. I've kind of stalled on Full Metal for a little bit because I got busy this week. Last night, or no, not before. Friday night, I watched Hamilton on
Yeah.
Disney Plus,
Ooh.
and so I listened to the album a multitude of times. I saw it in Chicago with a different cast, not the original cast, but this is the first time I've ever seen the original cast do it in person, like on stage. I didn't bootleg it. I wasn't anything like that. I waited, got it on Disney Plus, and it was really good. But my one question is I know Jordan's, I think, the only one that's seen it so far. Kevin, you listened to it, right?
I've listened to it once, and that was like a while ago.
Okay, and Ryan, you've listened to it sporadically, but you haven't
I
watched.
listened to the Satisfied cover, the Queen Latifah Satisfied cover.
Okay.
That's about all the extent of my Hamilton knowledge, other than random people in my dorm singing it
Okay.
at 2 a.m.
So I
Okay.
guess my question now is for Jordan and Kevin. Do you guys think Hamilton will be remembered fondly, or will its memory be tainted in the future?
Like the show
Like-
or the person?
Like the show?
I think it'll be remembered fondly, as long as Lin-Manuel Miranda doesn't do anything that tarnishes it.
Right.
Right.
Well, my one thing is like the one thing I've been seeing like on different social media and platforms and stuff like that is it's glorifying like the founding fathers who owned slaves and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I get it, but the point of the show is to show tell a story
Mhm.
in American history by inserting people of color, different backgrounds, letting them have a voice in the birth of the melting pot that is America.
Exactly. Yeah.
I will say that they talk about the slavery thing in a different, I think it was a PBS documentary called Hamilton's America. It's just an hour long that aired, and it was interviews with the original cast and Lynn and stuff, and they talked to Daveed Diggs
Okay.
about that. They asked him, like, what's it like to play Thomas Jefferson, who, was owned slaves and was all for slavery and things.
Right.
And he talks about that, and he's like, as a black person, it was rough. Like, I really had to think about if I wanted to take this role or not.
Mhm.
And I think that's something
Mm-hmm.
that I don't think a lot of people watch that.
Right.
And I think if they did, they'd kind of see it.
Mhm.
I do think Hamilton will go down fondly just because it also really kind of brought Broadway back into the spotlight.
Right. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Broadway was all those like huge belts and of long high notes and, like defying gravities and Wicked
Right.
and things like that, elaborate costumes. And Hamilton was just kind of like made it a little bit more modern
Mhm.
with adding rap and stuff to it. I just think that's kind of the way to go with that. So I think it'll be remembered fondly. I do like it does kind of glorify it a little bit. It makes it seem like they're okay, but the founding fathers, but other than that, like I don't know, it's a piece of art.
Right. Yeah. No, I agree 100%.
And I think more
Mhm.
people will remember it for the art that it is and not the glorifying sense
I just
of it.
don't want it to be damned or anything in the near future. That's my fear,
Oh
I
yeah,
guess.
Got it.
for sure. Well, I think it's just like part of the problem is just that people are wanting something from it that wasn't the goal of the project.
Mm.
Right.
Like the goal of Hamilton was not to educate people on like the birth of the nation and all that, but rather just to tell a story of Alexander Hamilton. And
Yeah.
Right.
Lin-Manuel Miranda read a biography on Alexander Hamilton and is like, yay, this guy, he's not talked about much.
Mhm.
And his story is kind of interesting. So he kind of used the Hamilton to tell that story. And like, it's such a well-crafted story too. It's,
Right.
everything is so there's a lot of emotional continuity, which is like, there's a lot of like understanding of why we're in this certain scene, what the character wants, what do they need, and like why now, what happens if they don't get what they need,
Right.
so on and so forth. It's such a well crafted, story and Broadway, and then like Jordan says, there is supplemental material that is being produced and related to the show Hamilton that does have Lin-Manuel Miranda's seal of approval as well. That talks about the politics and the social injustices of during that time period.
Right.
And so it's more of a gateway to learning more about history than it is trying to educate history. But like I said, like it's when you critique something, it's not like, oh, is it doing what I want it to do? It's more like, is this doing what it's trying to do?
Right. Yeah.
And then you kind of ask, like, is what it's doing moral or not? Like, I don't like historians critiquing Hamilton for not being historically accurate is fine, but like they're not, from the articles I've read, they're not bashing the show. They say the show's great. It's just that it's just that they want audience to keep in mind of like, this and this and this. But yeah, I think it'll last a while. It's not like, let's see, I'm trying to think of like an example that's not Joker. But like to use even Joker as an example, like even though like on the surface it's a well-crafted movie, it's when you look at the writing and really think about like subtextually, it doesn't mean anything. Whereas Hamilton does have a lot of subtextual meaning to it. It's just not historically accurate, but that's not what it's trying to be.
Ryan, do you have anything to add?
I mean, Hamilton, I haven't watched it. I probably won't go out of my way to watch it. Like, someone will probably have to strap me down to a chair and make me watch it.
All right, so when you get back from home, guess what you're doing?
The whole reason I haven't watched Hamilton is because, one, like I said earlier, I'm not big on musicals or whatever. And then two, it was the fact that it was so hyped that I didn't want to watch it. Fun fact about me, I don't like things that are hyped or overhyped. From the small bits I have seen, I don't know, like it's not my cup of tea, I guess I would say.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You're also not a big musical guy, though.
Yeah, I'm not a big musical guy, and like it's the exact same reason I don't like Frozen, because everyone loved it, and I was like, well, screw that, I'm gonna go watch the more underrated random thing. But
then I guess now the important question is, Kevin, what have you been up to? And we're at 56 minutes, so
yeah, we gotta start wrapping it up. So
go quick.
I'm not allowed to talk about Avatar. But wait, were you about to say something, Zach?
No, I said speed round, lightning round, go.
Oh yeah, I'm not allowed to talk about Avatar, but the end of season 1 I thought was just kind of okay.
Fair.
I thought Cave of Two Lovers was actually good.
It's decent,
even though it's a filler episode.
Secret tunnel.
You couldn't see me, but I just smacked my forehead.
I've been playing Link's Awakening. I'm almost done with it. At first I thought it was like, oh, this is just an easy Legend of Zelda game. Like, I can beat this easily. Then there's like 8 dungeons you have to go through. I'm on the 7th dungeon right now. Okay. And it stopped being easy. I might have to look up a walkthrough on how to beat this one. I have the key for the boss room, but I don't know how to get to the boss room. It's kind of rough. But I'm also as for what I'm reading The Color Purple by Alice Walker.
Oh, cool.
Also a musical.
Also a musical, and also a movie by Steven Spielberg.
Yes.
I'm only like 70 pages in so far. It's very heavy. It has it won the Nobel Prize, and I think it deserves it so far. But it's hard to read a lot in one sitting, because it's just how heavy. And it's only 300 pages, but so far I highly recommend it. I'll give my thoughts on what I think after I'm done with it, because I've read Alice Walker's short story Everyday Use before for a literature class, and I really liked it. So I just wanted to move on to this popular novel.
Looking forward to your review of it, Kevin. And speaking of things we're looking forward to, what is everyone looking forward to in the future?
Looking forward to see how Joss Whedon's reputation holds up.
I think we should say that for next week. We should table that for next week and see if anything else comes out.
Yeah, that's a whole conversation.
Yeah,
because I feel like a lot of other stuff will come out about that.
Yeah, so we're waiting for more news to come out, but apparently he wasn't very professional on set. in the sense that he was just trashing Zack Snyder. But that's all the news we have so far from Kevin Smith.
But I mean, I've been on some student film sets, and I mean, I'm not gonna deny I haven't talked shit about the film I'm working on as a student.
Oh, totally.
So, I mean, I can be in Joss Whedon. I can stand in Joss Whedon's shoes and be like, yeah, if I was working on the train wreck Justice League, I wouldn't blame him.
Like it's one thing when like a grip or an assistant is trash talking it to another assistant, but it's another thing when the director is doing it, because the director is the one that has the morale of the sets.
Oh, I agree. Yeah. I think the biggest thing is like if he is trash talking it, or like then why would you even hire him? Just wait until Zack Snyder is ready to come back, put it on hiatus or postpone it for a little bit, and then start filming again.
Yeah, it's a situation, but we'll see how that develops. How about you, Ryan? Are you looking forward to anything in particular?
I mean, I guess I'm watching Doctor Who. That's about it. I mean, anything else that's come out, it's still COVID. There's nothing coming out except for strangely anime. So that's about it.
Cyberpunk.
It's not coming out till like November.
Or November.
Details.
I want it so bad.
I know.
It's just, I pre-ordered it on Steam, and I just see the logo once in a while.
Taunting you.
It's the only game I pre-ordered.
Oh no.
It's all my fault. One time I pre-ordered a game, it gets delayed like 6 months.
Are we now blaming Kevin for COVID-19? Is that what happens to happen?
Yes, I agree with this.
I'm telling you, man. I graduated, and the whole world went downhill after that.
Kevin, even when you were in college, shit was going downhill.
The boulder was rolling, and I pushed it even faster.
The boulder. You'll get to that later, Kevin.
I can't wait to see what that was referencing.
Yeah.
How about you, Jordan? What are you looking forward to?
Honestly, I'm not really sure. Well, Animal Crossing just came out with their update on Friday for diving and stuff, and they said that they're coming out with another fun update in August. So I guess I'm looking forward to that. Other than that, I mean, everything else has kind of been delayed that I've been interested in. So
yeah,
has COVID affected us all?
Stay in quarantine with Animal Crossing.
Yes, Ryan. Yes, it has.
If you live in America, COVID has affected you
to a T.
Pretty much.
Yeah, big ol' yikes. Wait, Zach, did we go over what you were gonna watch?
What I'm gonna watch next week?
Well, what you were planning on looking forward to?
Oh, what I'm looking forward to? I don't know. Like I'm excited for. I know Cyberpunk, like we said, that's a while away. I've been playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey recently. I'm kind of want to get Assassin's Creed Valhalla because it's about the Norse mythology.
Get the PS5 to go with it.
Oh God, I don't want to buy a PS5. That's why I got a PC, man. I can just upgrade and never have to buy another console.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you say
boring.
that now.
Yeah, wait till Spider-Man Miles Morales comes out.
I was gonna say, let the record be known right now that Zach does not want a PS5.
But I have to.
And we're gonna revisit this.
I have to get it because of Miles Morales. That's the thing here.
Why not? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem. So I mean, yeah, I'm excited for anything really. Like I could get a new game. I need a new game to play. So
Animal Crossing.
I don't have a Switch.
It's okay.
Borrow Jordan's Switch, I guess. I don't know.
Kingdom Hearts.
I do need to chip away at Kingdom
He does
Hearts.
have a profile.
Yeah, you could just live on her island.
He does. He
I
has a
do.
tiny little house. I just upgraded my house now, so I have all the rooms that you can get, and he's still on the single one.
Wait, so you just maxed out your house?
Yep.
I think I'm like one upgrade away from that. But like I said, I stopped playing it a while ago. So
Yeah, I
Oh
mean,
my
once you owe Tom Nook over $1 million, a million bells, you needed a second.
yeah, Mhm. It's all my island's just covered in like exotic fruits. So I've just kind of just been farming
Wait.
that.
Wait, Kevin, what?
What fruit do you have?
Apples. My main fruit is cherry. I have oranges, peaches, coconuts.
You have pears.
I do have pears.
Give
have
Jordan your friend code.
That's the one fruit I still need.
Okay, well, yeah, totally. Like, no,
Okay,
we
good.
can totally like. You can visit my island sometime, and I can give you a bunch of pears.
I will
And that's
take
how
it.
friendships are made, people.
And that's how friendships are made here on Committed Critics.
Jordan, if you need like special furniture or anything, like I have friends who like make and like kind of like just harvest furniture.
Oh my god.
So anything that you need, like I could probably get it to you.
Are we making an Animal Crossing black market right now?
Yes,
It's fine.
I am a dealer.
Oh my God. Okay, with that, Kevin, take us out.
I will take us out. You've been listening to Committed Critics, the show where we're not just committed to our criticisms, but also each other.
Aww.
You can support us on Patreon. with link below in the description. Our current goal is $10 a month to cover the cost of being on Podbean, and so that we can also be on Spotify and all your other favorite listening apps and websites. You can also follow us on Twitter at Committed Crits. It is COMMITTED. My name. Oh, sorry, I didn't spell the
No,
whole
you
thing. COMMITTEDCRITS. And my name is Kevin Lau, and we are over and out.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.